From schemas to data transformation in 3 steps with metadata schema and Crosswalk registry. First, let's register a schema using one of the supported schema description formats. The registration can be done using either a local file or a web link. The MSCR parses the content and any reference files and creates an internal representation of the schema, which is then ready for mapping. The content of the schema can be viewed in a tree structure. Selecting a node shows details extracted from the schema description, such as cardinalities and allowed values. In order to get a persistent identifier for the schema, we need to publish it. Content of a published schema cannot be changed anymore, so Crosswalk creators can use them without the fear of breaking changes. However, the metadata will always stay editable, regardless of the status of the content. Let's now create a new crosswalk between the custom schema we just registered and the EUDAT extended schema already available as part of the MSCR. Select the source and target schema and fill in minimal metadata. The Crosswalk editor shows source and target schemas side by side. User can create mappings by first selecting one or more fields from each side and clicking the Add Mapping button. The mapping modal allows you to edit the details of the mapping, such as setting up functions. This first mapping is a simple one-to-one mapping, which does not require any extra configuration. Let's just save it. Next, let's add identifier info from the source schema's DOI element. We can map it to identifier element in the target schema. Additionally, we can add a constant value to the identifier type attribute since the source value will always be a DOI. Finally, let's first map author to creator in order to create an iterator context for the nested mappings. First name and last name are easily added as simple mappings. Creator name mapping requires many-to-one kind of mappings. Let's first select both first name and last name, and then the creator name and map it. Select concatenate as the function and use comma as the parameter. Now let's publish the current crosswalk and switch to a simple demo client application to demonstrate how the newly created mapping resource can be used for data transformation. First, let's select a source document, then input the PID of the crosswalk and fetch the generated XSLT. Finally, execute the transformation using the input document and XSLT to produce the output document. Since the MSCR contains both source and target schemas, we can then validate that the output document is well-formed. And that's it. Similar process can be used to transform between structures and formats using other supported schemas in JSON, CSV, or RDF. Thank you for watching.